Hi, beautiful. Welcome. I'm just going live today. We're just doing it today. We are here to talk about Venus retrograde survival. Oh, because it is so real, and I absolutely love the fact that yesterday Ariana Grande came out with a song called Thank You Next. And I was talking to my friend Jess about this, and she was like, it's the best. It's not a diss track, it's a You're Dismissed track. So let's just listen to this little snippet. Okay, so let's talk about Venus retrograde and what the fuck is going on and where do we need to make adjustments and how do we survive this crazy time. And if you're watching this and it is no longer Venus retrograde, but you're like, my love life is driving me crazy, I completely understand. Sometimes it has nothing to do with astrology. Sometimes your love life is just crazy. And I am gonna run through 9 points today to help you stay sane, to help you understand it in a greater context, and to help you feel good no matter what the fuck is going on in your DMs, in your texts, in your bedroom, or whatever. So firstly, you should know Venus has been retrograde since October 6th, and it will be retrograde until November 16th. Retrogrades are a time when we look back at what has happened and we're able to reappraise things. Look at the lessons we've learned, look at the things that are that we keep repeating, and really just get a greater view of what's going on and kind of understand ourselves a little bit more. You might be looking around at your partners right now and drawing parallels between them and your childhood, or you may have noticed that like your latest lover is just like all the other ones in all of these other ways. So really awareness is so important when it comes to looking at our lives and looking at our patterns and really decoding what do we want. Because if we don't do that, we end up in the same kinds of relationships with the same kinds of people. They may just look different, they might be in a different city, but they've got this same flavor that kind of runs through them. So we need to be aware of what's going on. So Venus retrograde is an opportunity to do that, to look really objectively at our relationships and ask ourselves, do I really want this? Is this something I want to perpetuate in my life, or do I want to change some shit up? So it's actually a really good time. So don't be afraid of any retrogrades. They're just an opportunity for us to get into the details and really see the forest for the trees. So the first step in surviving Venus retrograde is to consider that everything is happening for you and not to you. There are so many gifts in disasters and in pain and in difficulty and in not getting what you want. So it's really useful to ask yourself, what am I learning from this scenario right now? How could this possibly be benefiting me? And initially when things are going wrong or they're not working out the way that we want to, it's really easy to get pissed off and rant and vent to our friends like I have been doing, or to get tripped up on the fact that we're not getting what we want right now and being frustrated by that. That's very possible that you're in that place. But if you can flip it and reverse it and ask yourself, okay, what if I lived my life under the principle that everything is happening for me? Like everything is actually a gift. Everything is actually a learning experience or a growth experience or something that's going to bring me greater expansion. What if I viewed my life that way? And if you can look at the events that are going on in that way, you will discover that there are so many gems in there. And that brings me to point number 2, which is just to consider that the universe is always protecting you. So I just said this in my High Vibe Honey video like 5 minutes ago, but the more aligned that you are, the more in step you are with your inner self, the more dialed into feeling good and connecting with who you truly are that you are doing, the more obvious it will become when something is not for you. It'll just be really evident. Like the person won't return the phone call, or the person will say something where you're like, oh my God, I cannot be part of this. Or something will happen that will just make it really obvious that it's not the right thing for you. So if things like that are happening to you, just know that the reason that it's happening to you is because you are being protected by the universe. And the reason that you're being protected is because you are making your alignment and you are making feeling good your priority. And so it's just like, it's kind of like putting up a wall. Like the bullshit just can't come through, which is actually a major bonus if you think about it. That's definitely a good place for us to be. We don't want to be pushing through terrible things just because our ego wants it. Why would you want to create more messiness in your life? What we really need to be looking at is like, the universe is always protecting you, and when we don't get the things that we want, maybe that's a good thing, and why would it be a good thing? So spend a little bit of time considering that this weekend or this week. Ask yourself like, okay, but what are the pros of me not getting this thing that I want right now? And I promise you that there will be so many things in there that will blow your mind. Point number 3 in surviving Venus retrograde is to be your own lover. Now, I have been writing about radical self-love for 12 years now. And let me tell you, as an expert, this work is never done. There is always more self-love to practice. There are always new ways that we can look after ourselves. And as we grow and as our challenges become more interesting, more complex, there are new ways for us to learn to love ourselves too. So be your own lover. I went to the supermarket yesterday and bought myself a shit ton of flowers because I knew that having them in my house was gonna make me feel good. I have been on the phone with my friends and spending time with them and talking to them and just really getting from them what I want in a relationship. So you can allow those things, you know, like just make feeling good a priority. So what is it that you need to do to be your own lover? Does it mean that you need to have like some elaborate, amazing masturbation practice? Maybe it does. And if so, awesome, go do that. Go do that. The other thing that I really love to do when it comes to my own self-love practice is to clean my house, tidy it up. I organized my office yesterday. It looks amazing. And for me as a Virgo, there is nothing more satisfying. So do the things that are gonna make you feel good, that are gonna put your mind at ease, that are gonna help you sleep at night. Do those things, make them a priority. And Venus retrograde is also another reminder that we can't rely on other people to make us happy. We can't look to them to meet our conditions so that we then feel good. Because as long as we do that, we're really a slave to them. They are really in control of us, and we are not really in control of ourselves. So do what you need to do to make yourself happy, regardless of the tomfoolery in your text messages or whatever. Don't let that shit phase you. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Point number 4 is to make lists of positive aspects. This is some Abraham Hicks shit that I absolutely love. Making a list of positive aspects means that you write down all of the good things about a situation that is bringing you angst or worry or upset. So you take the situation and you zoom out as always and you ask yourself like, okay, but what about this is great? And then you just make a list. You write down all the sweet moments, the lovely things that are happening, the things that give you hope, the things that make you feel optimistic, the things that make you feel good about yourself. It doesn't matter what they are. They can be compliments. It can be bullshit, shallow things. It doesn't matter as long as it makes you feel good when you write it down. And this is a really good way of getting ourselves out of that like gross feeling stuckness. We can really dive deep into feeling good again. And if it is too hard to make a list of positive aspects, just change the subject in your mind. Literally think about something else. Get real kinky with your mind and discipline that shit and be like, no, we're not going there. So if you literally cannot think about positive aspects without thinking about pain or sorrow or the lack of the thing that you want, don't do it and think about something else. It's a tip from me to you. Point number 5. Know that the universe is know that the contrast is only getting you closer to what you want. So every time that we experience something that's painful, something that we don't like, something that we're like, wow, that sucked, that was unfortunate, what a bummer, or whatever, know that every time you feel that way, you launch what Abraham Hicks calls a rocket of desire, which means you are getting even more clear about what you want every single time. And it's interesting, there's so many people who talk about manifesting and teach that like you have to visualize it every day and you have to be really obsessive about it and keep your thoughts super clean and blah, 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 so you don't pull in the wrong things. And actually, we are constantly creating rockets of desire. Every time something that we don't like happens, we send out a beam of what we actually want. So rest assured that the vortex knows exactly what you want. There's no confusion. It knows exactly what you want. So when these things happen that suck, don't feel like, oh my God, this is terrible. Know that it is actually getting you closer to the things that you want. It's really a gift. It's really a great thing. It's causing you to expand and grow and get super clear on what you want and what you just won't fucking tolerate. Why should you tolerate it? And that brings me to point number 6, which is Venus retrograde, or any love drama or love dilemma, presents us with 2 opportunities. The first opportunity is not to take things personally, because honey, it is never about you. I promise. No matter what's happening, no matter whether you got dumped, whether you got flaked on, whether you got a rude text message, whether someone lied to you, whether someone cheated on you, no matter what happened, I promise, all of that shit is a reflection on them and not on you. It has nothing to do with you. And you could spend the rest of your life torturing yourself over what someone else's actions meant about you. Don't go there. I promise, it literally has nothing to do with you. I'm not sure how better to convince you of this, but just please take it from me. It has nothing to do with you. Like, if Jay-Z can cheat on Beyonce, it has nothing to do with you. Rest assured. If some bullshit goes down, if someone treats you badly, if someone doesn't have integrity, if someone promises something and then doesn't follow through, or they're not consistent, it's a reflection on them and where they are at. That's all it is. I swear to God. So please don't take this stuff personally. I know it's really easy to be like, oh my God, it must be because I'm ugly or I'm stupid or I'll never be good enough. And it's fucking not. It's about their insecurity. It's about their lack of self-worth. It's about their fear. It's about their doubt. It's about their attachment style. Like, there's so much going on that it's just not about you. So just trust and relax in that knowledge. And the second opportunity that this gives us is an opportunity to set some fucking boundaries. Oh, yes. I love setting boundaries now. It feels so good. I learned how to do this by working with my friend Terry Cole, who is an amazing therapist. And when I started working with her, I had no boundaries. I would just be like, oh, that's fine. And now, honey, no. I will cut you the fuck out if you do not come correct with me. That's how it is. I don't have time for that shit. I am a person of integrity. I do what I say I'm gonna do. I'm fucking consistent like a motherfucking boss. And if you cannot be that way, I don't need you in my life, because you're just gonna create drama and bullshit. You're gonna make me feel bad and sad. I'm gonna waste my time with you, and I'm not doing it. So, this is an opportunity for you to set some boundaries. If somebody else is behaving poorly, it is your job to set some limits and block them, delete them from your phone, tell them this is not acceptable, have a really clear motherfucking conversation with them about it. And I know that sometimes we can get tripped up on like, we don't want to be confrontational, it feels awkward, blah, blah, blah. But nothing feels better than creating a boundary and being like, actually that is not good enough. So I'm gonna need this from you. And if you can't do that, no hard feelings, but I don't want anything to do with you. Trust me, it feels so good. Check out Terry Cole for more information on that stuff. She has a thing called Boundary Bootcamp. Baby, you need it. We all need it. It's fucking epic. Okay. Number 7 on the list is that obsession about love or crushes or relationships or getting engaged or wherever your mind goes. That shit never works. It never works. If you met those people who walk around and they are like desperate to get married, they're dying to be in a relationship, that's all they can think about. Does it ever happen? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Obsession and need never works. You have to know what you want and let it the fuck go. And the way that you let it go is by doubling down on your own life. Yes. Get fucking like crazy about your own shit. Make your house into a pink palace. Buy some art, make some art, go on adventures, go see your friends, book a trip, learn how to cook, do something amazing and bewilder yourself and do something that makes you feel really good. It is the best way to deal with this kind of stuff. Like sitting around waiting for someone to text you or hoping that this will change and this and that and thinking about it constantly, it never works. So do yourself a favor and double down on your own life. I promise you, it's the way it works. Every time I have been single and I'm having the best time ever, that's when I get into a relationship. It never happens when I'm like, gee, I wish I had a boyfriend right now. No, that never works. It never works. You need to be so high on your own supply. That is what I recommend you do. Okay, point number 8 is if you are in doubt, help other people. Look for how you can help other people so you can get out of your own mind. You don't need this like constant self-centric thinking where you're obsessing about your own problems. Get on the phone with your friends because I promise you they have real problems that you could actually help them with. You could be a sounding board, you could give them advice, or you could just listen and be a good friend that way. Get yourself out of your own obsessions and just make yourself useful to other people. Be of service. It feels so much better than obsessing about your own love life. And point number 8 is just a reminder, point number 9, is just a reminder to feel good and make feeling good your priority, because your manifestations always lag behind how you're feeling, right? How you're feeling is an indication of what's coming. So if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling freaked out, tap on that shit and then make feeling good a priority. Do what you gotta do to feel good. Do your magical morning, meditate, go for a run, go to the gym, hang out with your friends, write a book. It doesn't matter, do anything. Do what you gotta do to feel good and everything will come right, I promise you. But you will feel good first and then the manifestations will happen, not the other way around. This is not about conditional living. This is not about like, oh, I got the thing I wanted, so now I feel good. It never works that way. You have to feel good first and then all the shit that you want will come rolling in. It will be so sweet. You'll be a happy camper. Okay, those are my tips on surviving Venus retrograde. It goes till November 16th and then we go promptly into Mercury retrograde. Beautiful, beautiful. It's gonna be amazing. Haha. Don't worry, you've got this. Make feeling good your priority. Remember these points, write them down. And I'll see you on the flip side. I love you.